and the widow of Slater Brown. Slater was the grandson of Joe Gans. His mother was Joe Gans' daughter. Everyone in East Baltimore, even though her name was Gertude Brown, called her Gertie Gans. My husband and I lived with Mother Gert for a while. So in the mornings when we were eating breakfast, George was 15. George had gone to school, Pop had gone to work, and my husband had gone to work. Mother Gert and I used to talk to each other. She told me about her father. Really, she talked about her father all the time to me. She said a bunch of boys used to hang around Belvedere Market. She said there was a man there, but I don't remember the man's name, that used to put them up against each other to fight. Not really mean, to show their boxing skill. Everybody, he put Joe Gans up against Joe Gans knocked out. I think they said Joe Gans had a good left hook. Mother Gert's mother was a white lady. She and Joe Gans were not married, but Mother Gert was adopted by a black family. Her adopted mother used to let her go to see her father in East Baltimore. That's when he was sick with tuberculosis. She would go to see him and stay with him a while. And she told me he used to give her $3 and $4. Picture of him with the boxer's stance or stand looking like this. Now I don't know what happened to that picture. I know she had two pictures. She had a portrait, and she did have a picture of him with a boxer's stance.
Who was she keeping?
And what George could have had them.
He probably does.
Because my husband died, and then George was still living. So he might have them.
Right. And you mentioned about, you said that she was how old when he passed away and she would go visit? How old did you say she was when he passed away? You said about 9?
No, when he passed
No.
When Joe Gans passed away.
She was older than that. Now wait a minute. She was 9. About 9, I guess around 9.
But I thought you said when he died, the phone was ringing
She
at the house. Probably at the house.
She was about
she wasn't
9 when she used to go
Where she lived.
see him. But she must have been much older and hers when he died. Did he live quite a while with that lung condition?
1910 he passed away.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, so she probably could have been about 9
She was like
9
9
years
years old, 8 or 9, probably she was young.
Yeah, my father was born in
Because I know she told me that she walked from where her adopted mother lived in East Baltimore to his house.
Right, he stayed at the Goldfield.
And I think she said he was staying with his mother, or I don't quite remember. But I thought she said he was staying with his mother. I'm not quite sure about that. Well, anyway, she said she used to walk to his house and sit with him, and he would give her $4 and $5.
Which was a lot of money.
But that's all, that's in the mornings when we would eat breakfast, she and I, and the men were gone. That's all she talked about was her father. She never talked about her mother,
No.
but she always talked about her father.
Yeah.
And she was very proud of her father. Very proud. Part of the hotel or something, he wanted for a gymnasium to teach young black boys how to box.
That's why
I remember she told me that. He made the best hot rolls, and her husband and 2 sons loved them. She made good fried chicken. She made good oxtail soup. She made, let me see, quite a few things. And her, codfish cakes from scratch. And her sons and the father loved her cooking. They really loved her cooking. And I did too, because I was eating there, after I got married. We lived there for a while. She was dressed very nice all the time. She was like they say, a handsome woman. She really was. And a very nice person. And quite a few people in East Baltimore really liked her. Gertude Gans. They never said Gertude Brown, which was her name. They said Gertude Gans. Do you know Gertude Gans? Mother Gert was Methodist. She attended Centennial Methodist Church in East Baltimore. Mother Gert had one temporary job. She worked for the people, say the Noxzema people. There was a lotion called Noxzema that it was face or body lotion. It was more like a salve. She worked for them temporarily. And My daughter was born at Mother Gert's house and also was Mother Gert's pet. And when my daughter was born, she said, "Mary, what do you want to name her?" I said, "Nothing in particular." So she said, "Can I name her?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I want to name her Arlene." She said, "The family I used to work for have a daughter named Arlene." She said, "I always liked her name." So I told her, I said, "Yes, you can name her Arlene." So that's why my oldest daughter is named Arlene, her pet. She wanted to give her, in fact, she gave her piano lessons. Arlene was a child that didn't want to study in school, hardly didn't want to study nothing. So my husband, we were living on St. Stephen's Street. My husband would take Arlene over to his mother's on Caroline Street, where the piano teacher was, every Saturday until the piano teacher told Mother Gertrude she was wasting her money because my daughter was that interested, and she wasn't. Mother Gertrude suffered with high blood pressure all her life. A lot of times she had to go to bed and stay in bed 2 or 3 days. The reason I remember that is because I was 20 and there was my brother-in-law, my husband, and my father-in-law. All of them were big eaters, and I couldn't cook that well. So that's why I remember this. So Mother Gert was a good cook. So Mother Gert would be sick in bed, and they would come to me. "No, you have to cook our dinner." Well, I did the best I could. My husband and Pop said I did very good. But George said it was all right, but didn't taste like my mother's. But he was so true, because his mother was a good cook.
What did she cook? What type of food?
At the last of it, she had a terrible stroke. She was completely paralyzed. Her teeth were clenched. She could not eat, but she would try to talk. So they could not find a nurse to take care of her. And I had small children at that time. So my mother said she would take care of the children, my children, while I took care of Mother Gertrude. So I took care of Mother Gertrude. And it was quite a job for a 20-year-old not knowing too much about it. But we got along beautifully. The only thing about it was I didn't know whether she could eat like soup, so I didn't try to feed her. And then I thought to myself, she has to have some food. So I called the doctor. I can't think of his name. Ralph, Dr. Ralph Young. Everybody's doctor in East Baltimore. And he told me, Mary, don't worry about it. I'm coming to the house. So he came and talked to me and told me what to do. She was completely paralyzed everywhere. So Dr. Vance told me that, well, she was terminal. And one day my husband came over from work, and I was upset because I knew she was so sick. So I said, Slater, I don't think I can take care of your mother anymore. So he said, please, just a couple of more days. So I went home to my mother's. The reason why this seems funny, he and I were separated. So I went home to my mother's, and I was talking to my mother about it, and I got a telephone call from my husband, and he said, Mary, you don't have to come tomorrow. She's gone. And he loved his mother. And so did George. But my husband was sort of a mama's boy. And his father, they loved their father too. But my husband was closer to his mother than he was his father. Now, his brother was closer to his father. When Mother Gert died, it was very, very sad. Dr. Ralph Young had a brother that was an undertaker, Bob Young. He lived right across the street, 1200 block of Caroline Street. And they got him for an undertaker. So he came over, and above all people, he talked to my husband, because he knew my husband was taking it so bad. So we went to the funeral. My husband didn't get out of the car at the grave site. But after his mother died, he took it quite hard for a while. But he got over it. Mother Gert was an excellent housekeeper and cook. And Mother Gert was a pretty woman. She was very pretty. And she, when Joe Gans died, the phone just kept ringing to tell her her father was dead. She didn't know it until they told her. So one lady said, Gert, call your half-sister, Julia, I think her name was. Joe Gans was married to her mother. Her name was Julia, I think. They say called Julia. And I think the brother's name was Henry.
James.
And see if you're in his will. Well, she called Julia, and Julia said she did not see it in the will. And, of course, she didn't go to the funeral. But she loved her father. She talked about him all the time. She said she was extremely upset when he got sick. And the way she talked, she kept in contact with Julia, her half sister, and her brother too. They were friends.
Yeah, James died 4 years later. James, the brother, died 4 years later after Joe.
Who did?
Her brother died 4 years later after Joe did.
Whose brother?
Gertrude's brother.
Mother Gert's brother. He passed away 4 years later after Joe
Oh,
did.
did he?
Yeah, the other day was the 100th anniversary of his passing.
What's his name, Henry?
That could be his middle name because it was James H. Gans. So maybe that was a name he went by as middle. Yeah.
Because I wasn't too sure. Oh, but see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Arlene Maxwell. I'm granddaughter of Slater Brown and Gertude Brown. I haven't been here since 1963 when my grandfather passed. I'm standing here, I just don't know how I'm feeling. I just feel so blessed that I'm standing here. And I'm also able to stand behind my grandmother's grave, Gertude Brown, who was the daughter of Joe Gans, who she was so proud of her father and so proud of being his daughter. And I'm just standing here just to let the world know that she was his daughter and to give her recognition that she was so proud of him. And like I said, I just don't know how I feel. I just feel blessed that I was able to do this. And that I'd let the world know that she was his daughter and to give her recognition. Thank you. You being recognized as Joe Gans' daughter. Make sure of this. Get your accolades right here. Wow.